The other day, I saw someone on Instagram who was on holiday in London and they posted a photo of their friend in a store that we're not a fan of. It's a fast fashion store that's very popular. Starts with the letter P, and their friend had like this huge basket full of clothes, and the caption said something like, well, she came here with half a suitcase and now she's bought 2 more suitcases to go home. And mindless consumption like that just drives me crazy. I definitely think we all need to be more aware of our consumer habits. Actually, that's not even something that I think. It's true for the way our planet and our resource use and everything, how everything is developing. And I thought it could be interesting to share some ways that I am a more mindful consumer, more intentional consumer, but with a twist, because I'm also a frugal person and I try to save money because I I've been planning to buy a house slash a flat, and I've just bought a flat, so I've been saving up money for the last few years, so I'm really trying to be frugal, but at the same time make better choices. And sometimes you have to make compromises because if you're into this kind of lifestyle, you know that being frugal and being sustainable, they don't always align. I usually choose sustainable, and these are 4 areas in which I never compromise. I always choose the sustainable product or whatever we're talking about. The first one is flowers. I never buy flowers from the grocery store. I don't think flowers should be sold at grocery stores. The reason for that is flowers take a lot of resources to, first of all, grow, but also transport. I had never thought about this, but I watched a Shell Bizzle video, a Valentine's themed video, and she talked about how buying roses is terrible. Like, so many people buy roses for Valentine's Day, and it's so resource intensive because roses have to be transported, or flowers in general, they have to be kept cold while being transported. And the more effort something takes to transport, of course, that takes more resources, more energy, and it's not very efficient for our planet. And this is something I'd never thought about. I didn't think about flowers being bad for the environment, but they are. If I buy flowers, I always buy them from the local florist. First of all, it just feels better to support an actual small business if I'm gonna buy them anyway. I don't really only buy them when there's a special occasion, but I'm buying flowers less and less. But like I said, if I actually do buy them, I buy them from the florist. I feel like they're way better taken care of there. They're better quality. So it's better to support that than to support mass-produced flowers for grocery store chains. I also think that buying flowers should be intentional. It shouldn't be like an impulse purchase that you just grab some flowers at the grocery store. I think it should be more intentional. So you should go to a specialty store to get them. Moving on, the next item on my list is eco-friendly washing stuff. It's very tempting to buy the cheap stuff at the grocery store, like the cheap dishwasher detergent, laundry detergent, hand soap, just everything, to buy the cheapest one. But a lot of times the cheap stuff has bad chemicals, or it's just made up from a lot of shit, really. So I found a brand that I really like. It's natural ingredients, it's no chemicals, and they carry this whole range. So I can buy my dishwasher tablets, I can buy my laundry detergent in different kinds, I can buy my bathroom spray, I can buy my detergent for washing, everything. They have it. Most of us already run enough chemicals and other toxins down the drain. So for me, making the commitment, because once I switch to these, I can never buy any of the other stuff again. Oh my god, that feels so wrong. It feels dirty, even though it's clean. Of course, these brands are usually more expensive, and that's definitely the case for this one. But I find it's just so worth it to reduce my chemical waste. It's also great to support companies that actually go out of their way to let consumers have better options out there. I'm sorry this video is so dark, by the way. I have a 3-month-old baby, so I need to just film whenever I can. The next thing I never do is buy clothes on sale. Even on clearance, I do not buy it because I am worried that it will increase demand. Even if it's a store shutting down, I don't buy it because I don't want to be part of a statistic buying fast fashion clothes. I just don't buy clothes from the store, period. I had to buy a set of smart clothes for my son though, for a wedding that was right after he was born, so I didn't know what size he would be, but that's hopefully the only time I'm gonna have to buy new clothes for him for a long time. I bought all his clothes secondhand, and I buy all my clothes secondhand. That does mean that I pass up on a lot of great sales, freaking Black Friday, whenever there's such good deals and blah blah blah. I don't participate. I'm not interested, because the best value is not using up all our resources to buy cheap clothes. I am a mom now. I really want to secure the future for, you know, my next generation, specifically my son. Just kidding. I obviously care about everyone. That's why I've been doing this for a long time before I had a kid. But if you didn't know, like, the clothing industry is one of the worst things we're doing to our planet. It's terrible. That reminds me of like some bachelorette party, I think. We were playing this game where you said some kind of like fact about yourself or something, and this one girl was like saying how she was great at finding the best sales and she never bought anything full price, and she like always bought things on sales. And my thing was that I don't buy anything new, like I buy all my clothes secondhand. And she was like, oh my god, you must think I'm terrible. But what I said to her to make her feel better is that, you know, I've lived abroad for 8 years of my life. I've flown way more than most people I know, so I feel like I have a lot to make up for. But the clothing industry is worse than flying, and buying stuff secondhand isn't hard. It's not gross because it's clothes. You can wash them. You're gonna wash them anyway. I would wash clothes that I bought from the store. Someone else could have tried them on. You know, they could be chemicals from production. Like, you have to wash them before you wear them anyway, and you can save a lot of money. And the last one is that I try to always buy Norwegian produced food. So that means I choose vegetables that are grown in Norway rather than vegetables that are grown abroad and imported. Would also be true for meat, but I don't really eat that much meat that it would be super relevant, or I don't eat that kind of meat that would be imported. I am not, like, I post a lot of veggie and vegan food on Instagram, but I'm not trying to pose as a vegetarian or a vegan. I am not. I eat meat, but I post when I eat meat too. But when I post vegan stuff or something, I always label it like plant powered or something, just because I want to show off, like, hey, you can make like really nice, good looking and tasty food without animal products. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm vegan, but I think it's pretty obvious because I do post pictures of eating meat, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me having some weird imposter syndrome about that. But yeah, whenever Norwegian food is available, and Norway is very good with marking food produced in Norway with like some kind of label or a Norwegian flag or something, so it's very easy to find. I don't know how it is in your country. I hope it's equally easy. It's important for so many reasons. In Norway specifically, that means a lot of things. The food often has like a better production route. Like, there's less chemicals used, there's less like pesticides and all of that, and animal welfare, definitely it's easier to monitor as well, because it's easier to look up these companies instead of having to look up all these different, or like the Norwegian guidelines and whatever the laws for what animal welfare and everything. Then if you buy stuff from wherever, then there's a lot of different countries you have to, you know, research, and that's, oh my god, that's a lot of work. And I don't think most people will do that when they're grocery shopping. But for me, like, the most important reasons I would buy only Norwegian stuff is to secure employment, because of course you're creating work in your own country rather than paying for someone else working in a different country. I'm not saying you shouldn't support other countries, but you can, you know, go on a holiday and visit that country and, you know, leave some money there. It's also great for supporting your country's self-sufficiency, and of course it reduces your carbon footprint. Most likely it will reduce your carbon footprint greatly, because the food hasn't been transported as far, and well, if you can buy stuff very local to you, that's amazing. Like where I am, our local hotel that has a great restaurant, it uses meat from this local farm. Our grocery stores have carrots from this local farmer who also sells stuff like in the marketplace and stuff. It's just very satisfying to buy local food. Buying stuff that's produced in Norway definitely feels better than buying stuff that's just, you know, imported from wherever. But of course, I'm not saying I don't buy stuff from other countries, and also whenever possible I buy Norwegian, but we don't grow pineapples, we don't grow exotic fruits, you know, I can't buy absolutely everything I want Norwegian grown. And of course, I'm not saying I'm the perfect consumer with any of these things. I'm not saying, well, these things I do consistently, but other things, I'm not a perfect consumer, and it's not really about perfection. It's about trying. It's about doing what you can. As I already mentioned Shell Bizzle in this video, and I do mention her here and there. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. She's amazing. She shares a lot about sustainability and how we can live in a more environmentally friendly way. She finishes her videos with, you can't do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. And that's true. You can't be perfect in every way, but you can definitely do some things. Maybe the next time you need a new clothing item, look for it secondhand before you go to the store to buy it. The next time you go to the grocery store, you can walk past those flowers. You can choose locally grown if it's an option. And something else that I do, if I buy loose vegetables, I just grab them without a bag. I don't take the bag because, you know, if you can reduce your use of single-use plastic, that's also good. I'm also not saying you need to switch your whole, like, everything in your cleaning cupboard right away. Obviously use up whatever you have, but if you can swap just one of your cleaning items with an eco-friendly one, that's a great start. That was it for today. I hope you found those tips helpful, and I hope you thought this was interesting. I am not, you know, a sustainability YouTuber, but I like talking about it, and I've focused mainly on secondhand clothing on here, but I just wanted to do this little thing because I thought of it like, these are things I do instead of being frugal, and I'm very consistent with this. So I just thought it would be, I don't know, a fun video idea. Okay, I'll stop watching. Really appreciate it, and I shall see you later. Bye.